If you're hearing this, then, you know, this is before the video starts. What I'm saying here is that, I told one of my friends, Manly Man, to record a video for me because right now I was sick and I didn't have the time to record or anything like that. So, right now, this is Manly Man talking in the video, and I just want to give him a big shout out for him actually doing this what if for me, and I really appreciate this. Goodbye.
Ladies and gents, this is what if Deku and Kaminari were brothers. I'm just gonna let you know, just from the start, I am nothing like Luigi when it comes to what is. Might typically have a script and whatnot and reads off that, and puts a lot of effort into it. So why don't you like sub to him? He's a respectable guy, but I'm not like that. I do everything from scratch on top of my mind, and of course there's gonna be contradicting things, but it just flows more naturally to me. So just giving you this warning here: if you're the type of person that just likes the stories to be fluid and just straight, consistent, if you will, that's not what you're gonna get today or right now. So I'm just gonna put that like that, and let's just get into the what if. This is what if Deku and Kaminari were brothers, and let's just say Kaminari and Deku, they don't. Well, first Kaminari's born, and Deku is born after him, and they're obviously that would make them brothers, of course. And I'm just gonna skip to 5 when they're 5 because I don't feel like through that age, just nothing important is gonna happen. So when Deku and Kaminari are both 5, and Deku hasn't really shown any signs of his quirk quite yet, while Kaminari has shown like signs of his electricity. And Deku, he thinks he can't. Well, he's extremely excited seeing his brother use his quirk. He can't feel any emotion but happiness for him, really. And Kaminari, he feels bad for Deku that he hasn't shown any signs of a quirk, but he always tells Deku that if he believes hard enough, his quirk will come through and blossom. So so Deku, let's say one day that they're going like to kindergarten because 5 kindergarten, and they come across these first graders, and Kaminari is acting like the big brother, great brother that he gets in front of Deku, and he tells these first graders like what do they want? Like why are they like getting in between? Why are they getting in their way? They're just trying to walk to school. And Deku, there's nothing but fear running through Deku's mind right now. This just straight fear, and he's deep down he wants to get in front of his brother and be the tall and proud one protecting his brother. They're both around the same age, but I mean, of course, Kaminari is older than him, but still, I mean, you can be a big guy, big tough guy, whatever. But this was, let's say, like one of the first grader has. There's 3 of them. One of them has super strength, the other guy super speed, and the other guy is just like has super intelligence. A lame quirk, just useless. What is super intelligence gonna get me? I mean, I'm obviously sarcastic here. This is whatever. So let's say like the first grader says to Kaminari, "Give me all your lunch money," and jeez, Kaminari, he starts laughing and says, "If that's all you want, you should have just asked earlier." As he goes into his bag, acting like he's gonna grab it, but he just swings his book bag, just throws it at the first grader, completely smashing his face in because it hit the hard part of the book bag where books were at, just breaking his nose and causing him to scream in pain. And let's say this was the super strength one that got his nose broken, so he's just on the ground like rolling around crying Because if you don't know, breaking your nose is extremely painful. Well, breaking anything is extremely painful. No matter how big or tough you are, it's gonna hurt. So Deku, he sees this and he starts and he just starts saying, "You guys shouldn't mess with my brother and whatnot." And this is when the super intelligent one, because he's already behind Deku, and he's grabbing Deku by his hair, and he's telling Kaminari that if he doesn't just stop trying to resist, he's gonna end his brother's life. Not obviously he's not gonna kill him, but he's gonna do some damage to him. Might break anything of his. And Deku, at first he thought what his brother was doing was a smart thing, defending himself, standing up for himself. But now Deku's thinking, obviously anyone would think this in this situation, but now Deku's starting to think that his brother is, or Kaminari is extremely arrogant and just stupid. Like if I know I'm with my little brother and or quirkless brother, and these guys not way older, but older than me, only asking for my lunch money and nothing else. Why, in God's name, would I put my brother in position of where he could get hurt and where I know I can't possibly defend him against three other guys? Why would I do that? Just give him the money. It's that simple. But he's trying to be a hero, trying to show that he can be strong and proud in front of his brother. And in a sense, that's cool and all, but in the long run, you got to think of what's gonna happen next. You can't possibly fight off three guys at once with a quirk that you're not even used to yet. Just roasting the hell out of him. But let's say Kaminari, he's thinking in his mind, he's like, damn it, I shouldn't have put Deku in this position. I should have just gave him the money. It wasn't even that much to be fighting over. But like I said before, too much pride and just trying to show his brother he can do stuff. He can defend it. But obviously he can't. And so this is when in Deku's mind he's starting to be pissed. He's not pissed at his Kaminari, he's just pissed at himself. He's pissed that he couldn't. He's pissed that his brother is in this situation in the first place. He's not. He doesn't resent Kaminari. He doesn't think anything. He's just angry at these guys that would dare hurt his brother and put them at possibly like putting them both in like a bad relationship because I'm in danger because of you and whatnot. And so as Deku's starting to get pissed and more pissed and pissed. And this is when his quirk activates. And let's say you can kind of think of it as like a Pikachu. A Pikachu. Like Pikachu, he obviously has electricity, but he can surround himself in it. And that's what Deku's doing. And so Deku's surrounding himself in electricity as the guy was grabbing his hair still. He's still connected to him. So Deku obviously shocks the hell out of the dude, knocking him out almost instantly. And Deku doesn't really know. He doesn't really know what happened. From his point of view, the guy just dropped him. That's all. He was holding him up by the hair in the air, and then he just suddenly dropped him, and his hair was all burnt, and he was all burnt. And there's only one more at this point. And he's not even trying to mess with the brothers. He just runs away. And this is when Deku and Kaminari, they both run up to each other and they hug each other. And Kaminari is telling Deku that he's extremely sorry that he put him in that situation. But he's really happy that his quirk finally activated. As he's like patting Deku's head. And Deku's like, he's saying like, it's alright, big brother. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to activate my quirk. And apologies for that little weird cut. But let's just say, after that, they finally managed to go to school. And they were a little bit late, but nothing happened after that. But let's say when Deku got home and he told his mother, his mother, that he activated his quirk, he just couldn't really explain. He couldn't really activate it, nor could he explain it. And neither neither did neither could, sorry, or apologies, neither could Kaminari explain the quirk itself. It was extremely difficult to describe. All he saw was, in his from his point of view, all he saw was Deku being dropped on the ground and a guy being fried. That's all he saw. And Deku didn't really get stupid after that, so he doesn't think it's the same as his, or exactly the same. And if you didn't know already, because I know I did not explain it, well, let's just go, let's continue on to the story. And let's say Deku and Kanamar, I can't say his name now, Jesus, Kaminari, they actually go back to school the next day, and they don't get in trouble, they don't get like robbed or anything, or attempted like that again. Because, like, once the rumor goes on that you got beat up by kindergartners, that's just bad for your reputation. But let's say, like, during recess, they're playing with the other children, and Kaminari was it. And Deku's running around and stuff, and, like, he got stuck in between, like, some swings and stuff. And Kaminari goes to, tag him, but he actually shocks Deku. Or yeah, the electricity and stuff. Let's say Deku was wearing a sweater at the time, but he actually shocks Deku, and that actually, even though it's not like straight through it, or not skin to skin contact shock, still hurts like hell for Deku, and it was his favorite sweater. So like, out of all this combined, Deku was forced to do nothing but cry. He just started crying, and the teachers, or like the recess, I almost called them recess guards, or I don't know what you call them anymore. It's been so long since I was in kindergarten, but whatever you call those guys that are just watching the kids that are actually with the school. There we go. Whatever. She saw Deku just crying, so she just immediately like picked him up and took him to the nurse's office. And let's say they had to call her. It's like protocol to call their parents. And Kaminari is just waiting outside. I mean, it's not like a hospital, but they just don't want him to be in there. They just don't want anything to happen again after he explained to him what happened. But, and this is, but, like, let's say after that, when Deku was healed and his mother, or Kaminari and Deku's mother came there to, like, ask him, is he alright? Was he alright and stuff, and what happened? And then Deku explained, like, Kaminari accidentally, shocked him and whatnot. But this is when, let's say, there's an actual quirk doctor. There's a quirk doctor, Jesus, man. Yeah, there's an actual quirk doctor there. And he was actually watching them. He was watching the kids as well. Because he was just trying to see, he was just really just trying to see, if there was any. He was a scout practically. He was scouting for any kids on the playground that were had any intriguing quirks, and he has the ability to. His quirk is literally the ability to see anyone else's quirks. He can name it and tell them what their quirk was, and so let's say he comes practically out of nowhere, and he goes, "Ma'am, your son, Mizuku, or Midoriya, whatever, has a very intriguing quirk." And he calls it energy reproduction. He says he's breaking it down to her, and he says, basically, as her son gets older, his electricity gets stronger. And remember, Deku is 5 at the time. He says, right now, he probably has the output of he has the energy output of like a solar, he has the potential of like a solar flare, the energy output of like a solar flare or something like that. I hope that makes sense to you. And But like right now, he has like maybe like the electricity, like the latent electricity that he could possibly control right now of a whole city, and that's extremely powerful. But Deku really can't even control that at will, let alone just activate it. But like naturally, as a defense mechanism, when Kaminari shocked him, his body just gave off the same voltage, so it wouldn't hurt as bad as it would. Cause that was gonna hurt. It would hurt a lot more than what it did. And that's where I'm gonna end it. Hope you guys enjoy. I hope you enjoy Luigi's next part. Hope he doesn't have any more technical difficulties or whatever. If he does, yeah, if you hate me, I might be back again. Who knows? Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe to him. And peace out.